The Habs, man! The Habs! Are you kidding me? Montreal completely craps the bed in the preseason. They lose all of their games. And then game one of the regular season with 4 rookie blue liners, Harris, Guhle, Xhekaj, and Kovacevic, they win. And they win in a fashion that is so dramatic, so unnecessarily hyped up towards the end. Hockey gods, you're writing this script. It is getting too predictable nowadays. The Montreal Canadiens have defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 1 of the regular season with a final score of 4-3. Now, I did not plan to make this video. I was going to go out there and say, okay, Caufield scored some goals. We'll see what happens towards the end of the game, but we can talk about this game tomorrow. We can talk about Cole Caufield and the goal production and how good the defensemen were in the game and everything. And it's going to be cool, but I personally did not plan to make a video right away because I was like, yeah, it's Toronto. I mean, Toronto's going to win, right? Montreal is tanking for Bedard. They kind of want to get as few points as they can. And I have Matt Murray on my fantasy team. You know, I'd said this a few times, but in the hockey pool that I've got with Hot Take Hockey, Audie James, a few other very notable names in the sporting YouTube community, I do have Matt Murray and Alexander Georgiev as my 2 goaltenders. I took guys that aren't really good guys per se, but they're playing on good teams and wins account for a high amount of points. So therefore, I was like, okay, well, Matt Murray and Georgiev, Colorado and Toronto are both probably going to get a lot of wins, so let's just try to go with that. Matt Murray, I was kind of thinking in my head, you know, if Caufield scores 2 goals and the Maple Leafs come back to win in regulation, that would be the best case scenario. Firstly, because I would get fantasy points. There you go. A nice 10 points on the dollar for Matt Murray pulling out a win. Cole Caufield would be getting goals, which is great for everybody, and then the Canadiens would be losing for Bedard. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. But you know what? This outcome here, where the Canadiens come back, they score 2 goals in the last, when the heck was the second last goal by Montreal scored here in this game? The Sean Monahan one. Scored with 2.5 minutes left in the game. Josh Anderson scores with 18 seconds left in the game. Montreal scores 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes. And there's a William Nylander goal thrown in there too that was debatably offside. I thought it was a good goal, so I think it was a good call for Marty St. Louis not to challenge it. Plus, if it was wrong, they would have been on the penalty kill there. But at the end of the day, this game was an absolute statement made by the Montreal Canadiens. Not only because you had yourselves a decor of 4 brand new guys, Harris, Guhle, Xhekaj, Kovacevic. Each of these players are rookies, and each of these players honestly played pretty alright. Sure, there were some growing pains, there were some penalties taken here and there were some moments where you're like, okay, I could see why you made that play, I could see why you threw the puck into that open pocket of space right there, but it resulted in a turnover, so you just got to work on those few moments right there. But of course, it's your first NHL game, so I'm not going to go out there and get too pissed off. Jordan Harris took a penalty towards the end. It was kind of rookie pains showcasing itself off in this game right here, but all things considered, they definitely weren't bad. And when it comes to the other rookies, I mean, Juraj Slafkovsky did not have himself the most amazing, earth-shattering game ever, but he was still okay. He was still a guy that played. Sure, he got kind of taken down in the corners once in a while. Sure, he got double, triple teamed once in a while, which wasn't good for him facilitating play, but he still made some plays that I thought were noteworthy for sure. Centering the puck, he was a pretty good one at doing that, and you could definitely see the chemistry building with the line mates that he had. Speaking about newer Montreal Canadiens, Kirby Dach, I thought he looked pretty good. Mike Hoffman, I mean, he tried. Did he really try? I don't know. You can go out there and tell me in the comments whether or not that was the case. Evgeny Dadonov, you could say that his back check led to the William Nylander goal in the 3rd period, which tied things up, but, I mean, we'll wait until the halfway point of the season before we start judging how much trade value a guy like Dadonov has on the year. But the one that I wanted to focus on here the most was none other than Cole Caufield, because man, this guy kicks off his NHL season in 22-23 with 2 goals. One of them, an absolute beauty, saucer deep dish pizza pass from Nick Suzuki on the cross crease. He one-times it on his strong side. and he's able to get it right through Matt Murray. Then you have yourselves the Caufield goal. Yet again, another game-tying goal where he comes right down the right side, drags it, holds it, shoots it, scores it. And Matt Murray, man, I don't know. I'm starting to think about the Toronto Maple Leafs and saying, yeah, I mean, the team was supposed to go out there and win. They're very good. They're very talented. But Matt Murray, oh boy, Ottawa Senators fans, they've been kind of foreshadowing this the entire time. Oh, Leafs fans, you gotta be careful, Matt Murray. Be careful of Matt Murray's positioning and the glove topside goals, because at the end of the game, that's exactly what Josh Anderson did. But before we had that, sure, there's a bunting goal and a Malgin goal thrown in there too, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the end of the game. That's the fun part. We had ourselves the Montreal Canadiens get on the board with Sean Monahan. He's able to pick the puck up right on the hash marks and snipe it by Matt Murray. It's a very sort of broken play where the puck bounces off a few things, but either way, it was very nice to see Sean Monahan come out and start his career in Montreal on a good note. We all know the entire story, the downfall, the injuries of everything with Monahan in Calgary, so just seeing this sort of a redemption tour, this is the best thing possible. And even though it comes in a game where I probably would have preferred the Canadiens to lose because I want that opposite goalie to get fantasy points for my team, it was still very nice to see Monahan do that. And then you have, of course, the Nylander goal that was scored a little bit later. The Maple Leafs had a few chances. They had some power plays as well, but the Canadiens were able to kill them off. Nylander gets a very nice feed cross crease from John Tavares, and then he cuts back over to the opposite side, getting it by Jake Allen, tying the game up with like a minute left. And the building was just absolutely silent after that, until Nick Suzuki sets up Josh Anderson off of a very bad Jake Muzzin turnover a few seconds later. The Maple Leafs are kind of under siege. The puck is thrown into the middle. Muzzin is there. He throws it up the ice, and then Suzuki takes it. He sends it over to Anderson a few meters to his left. Anderson holds, drags, shoots, and he goes top shelf. Matt Murray completely out of position, and that was the end of the game with 18 seconds to go. There were a few more things going on after, but even the fans in the building, ole, 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 ole. The Canadiens have won themselves a game after losing every single preseason game, and this one's sweet because it's against Toronto. I'm not the biggest Toronto hater out there in the world. It's why I have Murray on my fantasy team. But even if the Toronto Maple Leafs are not able to get themselves a win here tonight, and I'm not able to overtake whoever it is that I'm beating in today's action of NHL fantasy spectacles, this win for Montreal was nice to see. Caufield getting his goals. He's on pace for 164 goals in the year, man. Do you think he does it? Some people are saying that he does it. I don't really know, but you could talk to the comments about your thoughts about Montreal versus Toronto. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.